Alright, this is Mr. Ho here with the solutions for this polar coordinates practice. So point A is at an angle of pi over 3 and a radius of 4. So pi over 3 is right here, and if you come out from this point 4, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can put a point right there. And that will be A. B is at 19 pi over 12, but a radius of 0, so you go out 0. So that's at the origin, or at the pole. C, you have 7 pi over 4, which is right here, and you're going to come out negative 6. So negative 6, you're going to have to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, remember that if you're going either above or below, you need to stay with the same denominator. So here's a 4 as a denominator, so you have to come towards this 3 pi over 4. Okay. That's C, and D is going to be negative 7 pi over 6. Here's positive 7 pi over 6. So then you're going to mirror up to the other denominator of 6. That'll be 5 pi over 6. But you're going to go a negative direction. So you're going to have to back up 6 from there. So you come up back here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's D. Oop. No, D is 3, not 6. Let's see here. D should be right here. 1, 2, 3. D. That's not D. Alright, E is pi, and you can come out 5. So this is E. And then negative 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6 is here, but it says negative, so you mirror it down to this denominator of 6 over here. You can come out 3. So there is F. Right? Next. Alright, we start with a negative 2 and a negative 50. So that means we need another positive positive. Then we need a positive negative, and then we need a negative positive. That'll be all 4 of them here. Okay, my positive positive. If I go positive angle, so I'm going to need to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to have to do a 180 from here. So I'm going to add 180 to this, and I should get to 130. Now if I'm going in the same direction, but I want to go a negative angle, so let's say I go positive 130 this way, so the negative angle will be the other one from here, so all 360. So I subtract 360 from this, and I should get negative 230. Okay, so this will be minus 360. That'll give me this one. Now since I want to go in the opposite direction with a positive angle, so positive direction on this one, I'm going to have to add 180 to this one. So that'll give me 310. If I subtract it, I would get another negative angle, and I wanted a positive angle, so I have to add 180 to this. Alright, for number 8, I gave the positive positive, so you're going to need a positive negative, and then negative positive, and a negative negative. Alright, so if I'm looking in the same direction, the opposite angle for that would be negative 300, because I'm going to subtract 360. Okay, if I want to go in the opposite direction of this, I'm going to do 180 on that one, and 180 plus 60 is 240. Now the other angle that makes a 360 with this one is going to be subtracting 360 from this one. I get negative 120. Okay, now we're going to do this with radians. So we're going to start with this one here, positive, positive, so I want a positive, negative, and I want a negative, positive, and I want a negative, negative. Alright, a negative angle from this will just be this one, so that would be the negative angle from that. And then if I go in the opposite direction from this, so I'm going to have to add 180 to this, or 180 would be pi. So if I add pi, I'm going to be adding 3 pi over 3. That's 1 pi. So I'll get 4 pi over 3. Now if I want the negative angle for this, I would subtract 360 or subtract 2 pi. And 2 pi is really 6 pi over 3. That's 2 pi. So subtract that, I get negative 2 pi over 3. Same thing over here. I have a negative, positive. So let's start with the positive, positive. And then I need a positive, negative. And then I need a negative, negative. Alright, if I want to go in the opposite direction as this, I'm going to do a 180 on this, and 180 is 1 pi, which is 4 pi over 4. So I want to face the other direction, so it'll be 3 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4 minus 4 pi over 4 is 3 pi over 4. And now I want to go the rest of the circle for this one, so I'm going to have to subtract 2 pi, which is 8 pi over 4. That will give me negative 5 pi over 4. From here, we just want to go in the opposite direction. So in opposite direction, I'm going to add 1 pi, which is going to be pi over 4. So that will, 4 pi over 4, which is just going to give me 1 pi over 4. Negative 1 pi over 4. Negative 5 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 will give me negative 1 pi over 4. Convert the polar coordinates to rectangular coordinates. The formula for that would be x is going to equal r cosine of theta, and y is equal to r sine of theta. And you're going to get r is equal to let me erase. So this is y is equal to x is equal to 4 times the cosine of pi over 2. On the unit circle, pi over 2 is 0. So it'll be 4 times 0, which is just 0. Now if you're using your calculator and you're putting these things in radians, make sure your calculator's in radians. Okay? Otherwise you can get the wrong answer. Now if you put in y is equal to 4 sine of pi over 2, pi over 2 sine of pi over 2 is 1, so that'd be 4 times 1, which is 4. So your final answer is going to be 0, 4. Number 12. X is equal to negative 4 times the cosine of 5 pi over 4. And 5 pi over 4 is negative rad 2 over 2. So that'll give you a positive 2 rad 2, because these cancel and the negatives cancel. And then the y value is going to be negative 4 times the sine of 5 pi over 2. And that is also going to be negative rad 2 over 2, which gives you the same answer as the x value. So number 14 is 2 rad 2, 2 rad 2. Number 13, x is equal to 2 times the cosine of negative 7 pi over 6. Negative 7 pi over 6 is negative rad 3 over 2, which when you cancel that, we get negative rad 3. And then for y, I get sine, or 2 sine of negative 7 pi over 6. And sine of negative 7 pi over 6 is 1/2. So this will be 2 times 1/2, which is 1. So you get negative rad 3, 1. Number 14. X is equal to negative 5 over 2 times the cosine of 5 pi over 3. And that will give you cosine of 5 pi over 3 is 1/2. And that's going to be negative 5 pi over 4. And y is negative 5 pi over 2 times the sine of 5 pi over 3, which is negative rad 3 over 2. And that will give you a positive 5 rad 3 over 4. So the answer for number 14 is negative 5 over 4, 5 rad 3 over 4. Okay, converting the rectangular to polar coordinates. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And 9 is equal to r squared. 18 is equal to r squared. Square root of 18 is r squared, or r. And r is 3 rad 2. Okay, and then my reference angle is the arctangent of y over x, which is arctangent of 1. The arctangent of 1 is 45 degrees. Make sure your calculator's in degrees when you're doing this. So 45 degrees is my reference angle, and a negative is in quadrant 3, so if you add another 180 to that, and I get 225 degrees. So the answer is 3 rad 2, comma 225 degrees. Number 16. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So r is positive 6. And the reference angle is arctangent of 0 over 6, which is 0. The arctangent of 0 is pi over 2, or 90 degrees. But because we know that we are going down, it's going to be 270 degrees. Number 17, you have r squared is equal to x squared minus or plus 4 times 4 is 16. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. So this is going to be 16 plus 48, which is 64. R squared, and r is 8. And the arctangent of 4 rad 3 over 4 is just rad 3. And rad 3 is 60 degrees. So my reference angle is 60 degrees. But we're in quadrant 4, so we have to subtract this from 360. So my angle is actually 300 degrees. So the answer for this one is 8, 300 degrees. All right, last one. R is equal to a squared plus b squared, and you know this is a Pythagorean triple, so that's a 5. And the arctangent of absolute value of 4 over 3 is going to give you 53.1 degrees. And since we know we're in quadrant 2, we have to subtract this from 180. So 180 minus 53.1 gives me 126.9 degrees. So number 18 is 5, 126.9 degrees. Convert this to polar coordinates. We know that this is a circle with a radius of 3, so r is equal to 3. We know this is a circle with a radius of 5, so r is equal to 5. And because we know that y is equal to r sine of theta, we just put r sine of theta is equal to 4. And because we know x is equal to r cosine of theta, this will be x cosine of theta is r cosine of theta is equal to 6. And y is equal to x. Y is r sine theta. X is r cosine theta. Divide both sides by r. Then we get sine theta. Divide both sides by sine theta. Sine theta over sine theta is 1. I'm sorry, you have to divide the other way. So I'm gonna divide it by cosine of theta. Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by cosine of theta. So this is cosine of theta over cosine of theta. And we know that this is tangent. Sine over cosine is tangent, and this is 1. Okay, we could have done it this way, but then we'll get 1 is equal to the cotangent, because cotangent is cosine over sine. But that's fine, but we normally like to use cosine, sine, and tangent. So that's it. All right. last set here. Okay, we know this is really 1 over cosine, so this is 1 over cosine. Multiply both sides by cosine theta, so we get r cosine theta is equal to -5, and we know r cosine theta is x, so that's number 24. 25, same thing here. R is equal to 1 over sine theta. Multiplying both sides by sine theta, I get r sine theta is equal to 4. Number 26, multiplying both sides by r, because that's the only thing I can do. I get r squared, and then 4r sine theta. We did that because I know that that's going to be y. And I know this is going to be x squared plus y squared. So I have x squared plus y squared is equal to 4y. Similar for this one, we want r squared, so this will be times both sides by r. We get r squared is equal to 3r cosine theta. I know this part is x, and this is x squared plus y squared is equal to 3x. Number 28, r is equal to 4. So that will be x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Last one, x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. All right, that's it.